Hey YouTube, this is Kestrel Raptorial back with the Seto Kaiba deck. Custom built. This time we're going to continue in the third episode with building the Kaiba deck to resemble what Seto Kaiba brought to Battle City. I'm going to start Kaiba's Battle City deck. So let's see. This time I don't think I'm going to go through the entire deck as it starts out. I've got a lot of cards to add to this possible deck. Kitty? Kitty sharpening his claws on the couch and everything else. Okay, anyway. So let's see, what to start with. What did Seto Kaiba first add and subtract to his deck for Battle City? Well, we're starting with the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons that we got last time. I am working on getting a third stone tablet art, Blue Eyes White Dragon. It will be coming soon. We've still got the one from the original starter deck Kaiba. So we've got these 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Also still have the 2 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons that we've added in the episodes before. 2 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons. The reason I add 2 is that Kaiba decks, and particularly just Blue Eyes White Dragon themed decks, can summon, search, resurrect the Blue Eyes White Dragon and do so many things with them so easily now that it's quite easy to make more than one Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in the game. So we've got 2 there. I'll also be adding the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. Not this episode, but a little later. Don't really think I need to add a 3rd Blue Eyes Ultimate, although I do have one. That one's in my deck. Okay. So Kaiba did keep the Battle Ox in Battle City, but just to be a little bit different, I'm gonna switch it out for the advanced version, the Enraged Battle Ox. So the Enraged Battle Ox has the same attack and defense points. Its difference is it has an effect during battle between an attacking beast, beast warrior, or winged beast type monster, and an opponent's monster. The Enraged Battle Ox will allow you to do piercing damage. Seto Kaiba doesn't really use a lot of monsters of those types, so it's of limited use. It would be great in a beast and a beast warrior deck. But that's not really what Kaiba uses, although he does use one more iconic Seto Kaiba Battle City monster, Vorse Raider. So we will also be adding Vorse Raider to the deck. And since I added that +1 monster, I'm going to take out 1 permanently from the deck just to keep it at 40. I'll take out Mystic Horseman because we're no longer going to be making the Rabbit Horseman. No point. It literally does nothing for us anymore. Rukshin Powered. He did kind of keep that. Keep that for now. Kamari Dragon will probably take that out. Lajin and Ancient Lamp will keep. Might keep those. Not sure yet. And we'll probably be doing a lot of switching out of the rest of the Seto Kaiba monsters. Definitely keep Lord of Dragons, though. And let's see. Mountain. I just have a liking for field spells. Just a personal thing. So I'll probably keep the field spell just because I like it. There's my bird clock again. The spell cards are going to be a little bit tricky figuring out which ones to keep. And trap cards as well. Which ones to keep, which ones to switch out. But we will work on it. Okay. So, monsters. What monsters do we have to add? Let's start with one he used against the duel robot. Different Dimension Warrior. When this card battles a monster, after damage calculation, you remove both monsters. Still has its uses. Let's see. I'll just take out Dehuman. Not going to be needing that one. Monsters we didn't really see until the end of Battle City, but Kaiba did use them, and the Thunder Dragons came out in only the very second set that was released, the Metal Raiders. And if you could somehow pull 3 of them, or buy 3 of them, you could make the twin-headed Thunder Dragon a very powerful fusion monster. Not because its attack is that impressively high, or because it has any effect, but because its attack is good, and it's because since it's made by combining 2 Thunder Dragons, and by discarding 1 Thunder Dragon you can search the other 2, it's amazingly fast and a deck thinner and very, very useful, even to this day, for light and thunder decks, and just splashable in a lot of things. So I like the Thunder Dragons. Took me a while to get 3 when the Metal Raider set first came out, but it was worth it. And so we actually got 2 twin-headed Thunder Dragons, because it's not that hard, especially nowadays, to once you've discarded 1 or 2, revive a couple and make a second twin-headed Thunder Dragon. So we'll add 2, even though we only saw Kaiba ever use 1. Let's see. Be adding Blade Knight. Its effect is okay. I've never had too much use for it, but Kaiba sure did. How about these next? The XYZ machine monsters. X Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, and Z Metal Tank. These were pretty sought after when they first came out, and the way Kaiba used them in Battle City was pretty cool. And in the Pyramid of Light movie. Unfortunately, even though the XYZ monsters and a little later VW are even now gaining a little bit more support in a deck that's coming out pretty soon, their problem is that they're just so hard to search. And there's very little ways of reviving them, so you can't make the combinations over and over again, as it would have been nice to do. And as it looks like Kaiba was doing in the show. I wonder how these could have been made better. Or more useful, I'm guessing. Maybe if they were kind of a little more like the gadget monsters, searching each other, not quite so powerful, because they don't need to be, really, as strong as they are on their own. Since they are pieces of combinations, when all the pieces are together, they kind of form like these Megazord machine monsters. So that's kind of cool, but I'll show these, and also the Battle Tin XYZ Dragon Cannon. XYZ Dragon Cannon is actually awesome. The problem, of course, is that in order to summon it, you do have to search and summon each of the XYZ pieces. So, even though I'm showing these to you guys, I don't think I'm going to keep it in the Kaiba deck. Even though this is supposed to be Battle City themed, I'm also working on just making a custom Seto Kaiba character deck. Sorry, hard to censor these. I just don't think I'm going to hold on to them. Or maybe my little brother will like him. He likes machine-type monsters. And he and I don't play that often, so kind of casual cards are okay. But yeah, sadly, these could have been more useful in the real game. Oh well. Still very cool-looking machine monsters. We've only got a couple more monsters here I have to add. Let's see. Gadget Soldier. Not really sure why Kaiba used this one. He only used it very briefly in the Battle City arc to sacrifice alongside with Obelisks to summon Blue Eyes in his battle against Deshizu. That battle itself could have been a lot more interesting if Ishizu had made more impressive use of her fairy-type monsters, or had a more impressive fairy-type deck. Her trap cards were cool, but just on her monsters alone, she wasn't really holding up that well. Anyway, Gadget Soldier. There were better options, even in the anime, for this, but Kaiba did use it. Probably won't be keeping that, but yeah. But these two are much better. Kaiser Seahorse, which can act as a double sacrifice for a light attribute monster, Blue Eyes White Dragon. And Kaiser Glider, which kind of looks like a miniature version of the Winged Dragon of Ra based on the art. Interesting. And is invincible in battle against a monster that shares its attack points. Now, I don't use a lot of monsters with that ability, so I'm not really sure how often that actually occurs, but 6 stars, 2400 attack. I like it. Okay, so how many monsters did we add to the Kaiba deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to take out 7 more to add those. Huh! Curiously, that's exactly what we have. Apart from Cyberjar, I don't really see the need to keep any of these for that long, so I guess I guess I'll just take them all out. Okay. So I'm just going to put a couple of these monsters in Kaiba card sleeves. I color code Seto Kaiba as blue. So I use the blue sleeves. Now we can move on to the spell and trap cards. I like the mountain. Flute of Summoning Dragon we have to keep. Goes with Lord of Dragons. Polymerization we're going to have to keep. Dark Energy, we can probably get rid of that. It's a plus attack for Fiend type monsters, but we're not really using that many, so that can go. Monster Reborn we'll keep, of course. Stop Defense we may take out. Pot of Greed we'll probably keep, because Battle City didn't have a lot of other draw cards. Dark Hole we'll probably keep. Fissure's good. Soul Exchange. Kaiba used this quite a bit in Battle City, although I don't quite think it works the way he was using it. I think just reading the Soul Exchange, select an opponent's monster and use it as a tribute in place of one of your own. You must skip your battle phase for the turn in which this card is activated. It can only be used on one monster, and Kaiba repeatedly used it on multiple monsters to sacrifice. Especially when he was summoning Obelisk in his duel against Ishizu. You don't get to do that. I mean, I know cards in the anime work differently than the cards in the real game, but it'd be nice if they got a bit closer than they often do. Crush card, definitely keeping. Shadow Spell. I don't think he actually used this in Battle City, but he used it in Duelist Kingdom, and it's still pretty cool, so we keep it. Could probably take that out. And I think the rest are older trap cards. No, we'll keep Negate Attack. Machines. Aqua Chorus we'll keep, because it's a promo from the Kaiba the Revenge game. Probably replace these. So let's see. We want 20 spell and trap cards. I've kept 12 of them, so I can switch for 12 more. Okay. Well, let's start looking at what Kaiba used. Ring of Destruction and Ring of Defense. I know Kaiba used this in the four-way duel against Yugi, Joey, and Merrick. Trying to think, did he use it another time in Battle City? Oh yeah, against Loomis and Umbra. Although they turned it against him. They're still pretty cool if you can pull off both at once. Nasty surprise for your opponent. Add in those. Enemy controller. Kaiba loves this. Anyone who loves video games probably loves using this card, because you get to play the other player's monster like it's a video game. Kaiba sure likes using it. Shrink. Kaiba started using this on dark type monsters to have their attack points in place of Sagi the Dark Clown, so he could combo them with Crush Card Virus. It works. It's also effective in just weakening your opponent's monsters so they can be destroyed. Another nasty little surprise. Let's see, is that all the spell cards I have to add? Oh, no, there are a couple more. And let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I do have a few more. Okay. Silent Doom. It'd be really nice if this could bring back in defense position almost any monster. I guess it probably couldn't work on everything because it'd be a little too powerful then, but this can only bring back normal monsters, or as they're often called, vanillas. A bit limiting, but we'll still add it for now. Interdimensional Matter Transporter. This removes one of your monsters from play for a turn or for a battle phase to protect it. Cloning, which pretty much does exactly what it says. It clones an opponent's monster for you to use on your side of the field. Final attack orders. I had to rewatch the Yugi versus Kaiba Battle City Finals episodes to even remember that Kaiba did use this. It changes all face-up monsters on the field to attack position. So if you have the opportunity to wipe out your opponent's monsters by playing this and attacking them, as is often Kaiba's strategy, this is not bad. Now, I can't believe I'm almost done already. Now, we're going to get into the cards Kaiba's secret weapons of Battle City. First of all is Fiend's Sanctuary, which Kaiba never himself used, ended up giving to Yugi. I really had wished that Kaiba had won. His motivation seemed just so much stronger, and he's a more interesting character to me than Yugi is. But But Fiend Sanctuary was still cool to see. Its effect is really interesting. I wish the Metal Fiend token that it had summoned in the anime actually looked a lot like the gargoyle in the center of what looks more like a ritual than any kind of sanctuary, but yeah. And Obelisk the Tormentor, as Kaiba was given by Ishizu. Seto Kaiba's Egyptian God card. Now I am working on I am saving up for the legal version of Obelisk the Tormentor. They've actually recently come out with a brand new art for Slifer the Sky Dragon, so I'm also kind of waiting around to see if they come out with a new version of Obelisk art to buy the card. A little bit of trivia about Obelisk is I was looking up some time ago what Egyptian god Obelisk was based on from actual Egyptian mythology. And mostly what I come across is Obelisk is loosely based on Geb, an ancient god of the, I think god of the earth, in one of the earliest Egyptian mythologies. The Egyptians did go through several versions of their mythology, and of course they had many, many, many gods. I've also heard that Obelisk is based on Set, who, if you're somewhat familiar with Egyptian mythology, was the brother of Osiris, who killed Osiris and fought Osiris' son Horus. Horus slew him. Or I guess the Egyptian gods immortal? Probably. Well, Horus defeated him. Anyway. And took Osiris' throne. And Osiris later became the god of the underworld. There is another god of the underworld, of chaos, than Osiris. Slifer the Sky Dragon is, in Japanese, called Osiris, the Heaven Dragon of Osiris, Osiris no Tenkuryu. There is another god of the underworld and of chaos that takes the form of a dragon, or a serpentine dragon, called Apep, or Apophis. I actually think Slifer resembles Apep more than he does Osiris. And the rivalry between Yugi and Kaiba using Obelisk and Slifer would actually make just as much sense if Slifer was actually Apep, because Set and Apep did battle quite frequently. The god who could defeat both of them, of course, which also perfectly ties into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mythology, was Ra. The winged dragon of Ra, who I think is also actually supposedly based on the actual god Ra's pet bird, pet falcon, or pet eagle, or divine phoenix. I guess the pet of Ra rather than Ra himself. So if Ra's pet phoenix is able to completely trounce Set and Apep, just think of what the actual god Ra can do. The actual Ra is probably Harekti. Anyway. Wow, I went off on a tangent there. There's Fiend Sanctuary and Obelisk the Tormentor. So, we go. So let's see. There's Kaiba's trap cards, final attack orders, cloning, interdimensional matter transporter, shadow spell, aqua chorus, negate attack, crush card, reign of destruction. Seto Kaiba Battle City deck. There's 8 trap cards, Silent Doom, Reign of Defense, Enemy Controller, Shrink, Fissure, Dark Hole, Soul Exchange, Fiend Sanctuary, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn, Polymerization, Flute of Summoning Dragon. There's 20, and I did want to keep it to 20 spell and trap cards. I'll just keep mounting on the side. Field spells probably not necessary for this deck, but I just happen to like field spells, so I'll keep it on the side just for my purposes. Just because I like field spells. Fusion monsters. 2 twin-headed thunder dragons. XYZ Dragon Cannon, even though we're not actually using the XYZ monsters, because they take up too much space and they're not really searchable. Anyway, even though they look cool, I'm going to keep that on the side as well. Two Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons. Oh, and I also have, this didn't appear in Battle City, did appear in the Legendary Heroes arc, but also appeared later on. Just toss in Dragon Master Knight, because I have it. And the 20 monsters. Different Dimension Warrior, Blade Knight, Kaiser Seahorse, Kaiser Glider, Lord of Dragons, to use with the Dragon Flute, Ancient Lamp and La Jinn, the 3 Thunder Dragons. Let's see, that's 10. Oh. I'm actually going to be a bit short on monsters. Oh, let me think. Ah, here we go. Okay. Actually, it looks like I am gonna keep the XYZs for the time being, because I'm a little short on monsters. Did not expect that. You know what? Well, I'm trying to think of what to do here. Let's see. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, You know what? To make this work, I'm actually going to take out the Enraged Battle Ox. So I'm not going to use Battle Ox or its advanced form. What I am going to keep is Wall of Illusion and Aquamador. I like these two, and Kaiba did use them. Oh, not against the dual robot. The dual robot, based on his Duelist Kingdom deck, did use them, and I still like them. So I am going to keep those. I suppose I am going to add these for now. See how that goes until I can buy the cards for the monster cards for the next advancement of Kaiba's custom deck. Vorse Raider. And of course, to finish them all off, Kaiba's Blue Eyes White Dragons and Obelisk the Tormentor. Obelisk, attack now! Fist of Fate!